Hello everybody, and welcome back to another Path of Exile tutorial. So some of you may have seen Sirgog's video today, at time of recording anyway, that was talking about Kingsmarch. I waited to make this video until his had came out because I wanted to make sure that we didn't overlap too much on what we were going to discuss. Now, hilariously, he mentioned rune graphs, specifically sending shipments to Pondium, but he didn't really show any such examples. So I was going to talk about the tattoo side of thing, but the tattoos are very self-explanatory, so let's do the rune graphs instead. Now you can see here that I have 3 shipments that have come back from Pondium, and I have not checked to see what they are yet. I am on a level 94 character. This is important. As was mentioned in the video, the rewards that you get are tied directly to your character level if your character is too high or too low. So if you turn in a shipment and you claim it, and your character is a low level character, the rewards that you will get, notably things such as rune graphs and tattoos, are going to be heavily affected by this. In fact, if you turn in a quest at level 2 or level 3, you cannot get, even if you sent 50 million shipment, mirror shards, divines, and things like that. So while sending out shipments at level 52 to get the port quota for Ian to stand can be nice, you do need to keep in mind that this will come at the cost of the other valuables that you can get back from sending out your shipments. I do not know what the minimum floor is currently. It used to be you had to be level 85 to achieve the quote maximum value. So if you turned in a ship below that, you had a penalty applied. But now with everything being changed with crops, this may have changed as well. So let's go ahead and take a quick look at what we got from Pondium. So we got a wand, a bunch of things that did not even manage to make it through my loot filter, and as you can see here, we got 3, 5, 7, 8, 9, 10 different rune graphs. This is because this was a 8 million shipment to Pondium, 4 million of material and 4 million of dust. Or I'm sorry, no, that's the other one. This one was 4 million of crops. So we only got these back. So we're going to go ahead and take these rune graphs, and we're going to leave the rest of this here for now. We will come back to it. Oh, okay, I guess not. Well, I guess we'll go ahead and take all this then. So these particular wands that we are taking are not very good, and they are just going to go into a dump tab, just like this. Go ahead and drop those 2 while we're at it.
Local.
Perfect. There we go. And now let's go ahead and check out this one. This one was ore 4 million plus 4 million dust. Once again, we got 3, 4, 5, 7, 8, 10 rune graphs. We got 3 divine orbs. Not bad. We got 2 orbs of annulment and 4 ancient orbs. Those are worth a little bit as well. Exalts, unfortunately, are not worth anything. And we got some chaos. We also got this unique item. This was for filling out the port quota. We don't really care about it, but it is there, so we will take it. And then finally, this one. Once again, we got 2 divines, about 20 chaos. We got a sacred orb. Now, sacred orbs, divine orbs, they all have different tier of reward. Those of you who have played with Kingsmarch know this. Those of you who have not, the sacred orb, the mirror shard, and the fracturing orb are all in the highest category of reward. Depending on what you send, you could wind up with a mirror shard instead of the sacred orb, or you could wind up with a fracturing orb instead of the sacred orb. Based on the testing that has been done with multiple 50 million shipments so far, the mirror orb or the mirror shard is the rarest, and you will usually only get 1. The sacred and the fracturing orbs are much more common, and even if you send a 50 mil shipment, you are very likely to get 1 sacred orb, 1 mirror shard, and multiple fracturing orbs. Keep this in mind when deciding what is most profitable for you to run. So we'll go ahead and take these. We will do that number.
Local.
and we'll take the rest of this. Now I am going to real quickly grab a screenshot of these for posting to the data. Oh, I forgot. I need to take these two things out because they were my original. Okay, so we'll just take a screenshot of this for the data collection so that I can parse it out later. So let's take a look at what we got. Now obviously the bubblegum currency, it's just going to all get dumped in here. We don't really care about it, at least not too much. So we got 5 divines for a grand total of 8 million in raw material. We got 6 regrets, or 5 regrets, no, 6 regrets, 34 chaos, 8 exalts, 4 annulments, and 15 ancients. Now I'm just going to napkin math and say that the ancients and the annuls together are around 100 chaos, give or take. So in total, we got roughly 6 divines, it looks like, in raw materials, raw currencies. We then also got these particular rune graphs, which we will go price check. Alright, so, actually, wrong one. So, we got this one, which was only worth 7 chaos at the time of recording. This will get vendored, of course. 23, 24, 22, 24, 23. We'll come back to that one. 10, and 3, and 19. We got 1 Runegraft of the Warp, 3 shipments, 4 million of material, and then 4 million dust, which remember, dust does not affect quantity, only affects rarity. And of those 3 shipments, we got 1 Runegraft of the Warp. If we look at this in divines, that is about 6 divines right there. That tells me that for a 12 million shipment, we got around 12 divines. This is particularly significant because if you know anything about the history of Kingsmarch, this is what most people are sending for, mirror shards. A 50 million shipment in the old days would have rewarded you with between 3 and 5 mirror shards. That's really, really good. It made it the most valuable by far. Now, however, we no longer get to this. 3 or so mirror shards being 120 divine in current league pricing means that if we had sent out a 50 mil shipment for 120 divines, this shipment, which was 12, was much, much worse. Now, 4 million of that 12 million was in crops, which are effectively free. They only take time and your gold. But regardless of that fact, not particularly worth my time, not particularly worth my money. Now, like I said, we do have all of these which are not very good. So, for science, on this video, we are going to go ahead and vendor them all. So, as you can see here, we are going to get 9 unknown tattoos, and it's going to cost us an average of 20C for all but one of these, maybe 2 of these. So, for the sake of argument, we're going to say that we're giving up 2 divines worth to RNG these and see what we get. Alright. We got nothing of value, it looks like. Bummer. But that's okay, because we can just do it again. This time around, we got... It looks like we still got nothing of value. Yep. We'll go ahead and roll it one more time. We still got nothing of value. And we'll roll it one last time with the remaining 3. And we got nothing of value. So, as you can see, re-rolling rune graphs can actually be really, really crappy. I just re-rolled, and that would have been a total of, what, 13, 14 re-rolls? And of those 13 to 14 re-rolls, I did not get a single one of the jackpot worth your time rune graphs. So if you're going to send out for rune graphs and you're going to try and get the warp or the fortress or any of the other really valuable ones, do keep in mind you're probably better off just selling the regular ones that you get, taking your 1 to 2 div of profit, and then just moving on, right? Trying to sit there and min-max and re-roll for rune graphs, probably not worth it. I am going to go ahead and sell it. Well, I'm not going to sell this right now, but we will just go ahead and go and discuss how we can get the ore and the bars in a simple way to get these shipments ready to go. Now, as some of you may have noticed as we were walking by here, I have some maps in my map device. The mappers that I am currently running are basically, for lack of a better term, garbage. And that's on purpose. I am running free mappers that don't cost me really anything and just have the highest possible chance of 100% completing a map. Now, as some of you will notice looking at these items, these are all Elder items. This is because at the time of recording, if you were to go and search for occupied by right here, and you were to search for miscellaneous corrupted no, you can buy Elder Guardian maps for 4 chaos. And with the inflation of chaos this league, this really translates to about 1 chaos in value from the old days. Or, to put this another way, you can get about 60 to 70 maps per divine. That's really, really good. These maps have a decent chance of dropping a divine themselves for every map, but you also will get a bunch of random bubblegum currency, things of this nature, and of course, if they 100% complete the map, you will get a fragment. The boss fragments this league are not worth anything except for Elder, which is really funny to me because Elder is the one that is, in my opinion, the easiest of the fights to do. But for whatever reason, the Elder fragments are the ones that are worth anything. If we go ahead and go look one last time at Faustus, and we change this to fragment, actually let's just do it this way. Fragment of Eradication, 15 per divine. 15 per divine, and divines are 270 chaos at the moment. 280, they're even going up. So if we do a little bit of math here, and we say that it is 280 C divided by 15, it should be 18 per divine, but it's not. So what this means is you can take and you can turn those those maps, which cost only 4 chaos, you buy them, you scour them. You do not actually run them with any mods on them because you don't have to, and you throw them in the mapper. Doing so will result in the mapper giving you a roughly 80 to 100% chance that they will full complete the map. Full complete the map, you will get some random currency, which will be lessened by the fact that there is nothing on the map in terms of mods. But even getting just a couple thousand of this life force every once in a while, getting a few of, shards and things like this, getting scarabs, occasionally you will get, where are they? Oh, I guess I can't see them from here. Occasionally you will get vendor currency from the, not settlers, but the Expedition League. Things like that, which all have a little bit of value. Almost all of it makes up for the 4 to 6 chaos you're going to pay per map. And then you are just going to get these fragments. It takes 22 minutes for your mappers to complete a scoured tier 16 Elder Guardian map. So therefore you can fill up with 3 sets of 4 maps. I'm saying it backwards. You can take one of each of the Elder Guardian maps 3 times. There we go. And that is per mapper, so you will get, at best, 9 full sets every 4 hours from your mappers. That is pretty good. You can do this while you go do your mapping, you can do this while you're at work, you can do this while you're in bed. Roughly speaking, at current prices, if you were to take every hour of every day and turn them into these maps for your mappers, you should get back around 12 divine in just these fragments. You can then take that 12 divine and you can buy a gold rota on TFT or invest in your own if you don't like TFT and get multiple millions of gold back, which is of course what I did this league and why I have about 5 million gold at the moment. 5 million gold cost me 10 divines, very easy, and now I am set on gold in Kingsmarch for the next 20 days of farming. Now, smelting and mining does cost a lot, and people have pointed out in the past that with crops, before they reverted them, it can be very detrimental to your actual profit to sit there and deal with all of those little individual gold runs and farmers and things like that in the smelters. So I don't. I skip all of that. How do I do it? Kalguran Scarab of Refinement. At the time of recording, each one of these is about 30 chaos, maybe a little bit more today. Let's take a look real quick. Kalguran Scarab of Refinement are... oh wow, they have doubled in price. Okay. So I guess now they're 60 chaos in price, but even at 60C, they're still worth it. This is a bad ratio. This is over 90C per. So you don't want to buy them for divines. You want to buy them for chaos. So 60C per. I bought quite a few. I bought 40 of these last night for 30C each, but I guess maybe someone put a video out today talking about how good this is. Anyways, using the Kalguran Scarab of Refinement, if you can afford to do so, will make it so that all the ore you get in your map and in your Mirage will be automatically dropped as bars. The reason this is important is if you do not use this scarab and you just use the 2 Kalgurans and the 1 enriching scarab, all the ore deposits you get over the course of 10 maps will take over 12 hours for your refiners, all level 5, to turn into bars. First, the miners have to mine it, which takes several hours, and then the smelters have to smelt it. It is a very, very time-consuming process, which means that to turn in a boat of 50 million off of smelting and all of that, it could take you over a week. It's just not worth it. So because of that, I run the Refinement Scarab. Yes, even at 60 chaos, it is still probably worth it, because those 3 boats that you saw, the 2 4 million boats, all the bars that were acquired for that were acquired using just 10. Just 10 refinement, 10 Kalguran, or 20 Kalguran, and 10 enriching. And then I put a sacrificial fragment in this tab. In total, that gained me around 6 million in bars. So about 1.5 boats worth. So if you were to break that down, you do 2 hours worth of mining, or 2 hours worth of farming, and you should get enough for 3 boats to be sent 4 rune grafts or tattoos, whatever you find. Now, as I mentioned before, I waited for Sirgog's video to come out because he swears by going for the runes. I, in my experience in the past weeks, found runes to be incredibly underwhelming for profit. And I'll be honest with you, I still find it to be incredibly underwhelming for profit at the moment. Because getting all that effort to get 1 6-div rune graft, see if I still have them. I did probably only 8 million. Yeah, I did 2 boats of 4 million each yesterday, and I turned them in for tattoos instead. These were not dust, it was crop, but it would have been exactly the same if I used bars versus using the other ones. Turning those in, I received 2 of the spell suppression tattoos, which, if we look real quick, two spell suppression tattoos is around 6 divine, it looks like. But I didn't just get those 2 spell suppression tattoos. I also got 2 of these tattoos, which are 3.5 each at the moment. So that's another 7 divines. That's 13 div. On top of that, I also got the Fleetfoot tattoo, which is the movement speed. These are a little over a divine each. So I can't remember if I got 3 or 4. I know I ended up with 4, but I think I only got 3 from the actual boats. Tattoos also, unlike rune graphs, scale a little differently. When you send out for rune graphs, as mentioned, you can get up to 100 if you send a 40 million shipment, give or take. For tattoos, the maximum is 4 million. If you send 4 million shipment value out, you will always get the maximum of 40 tattoos back. Of those 40 tattoos, it is almost guaranteed that you are going to get at least one of the GG really good value tattoos, whether it be a spell suppression tattoo for the green, a tattoo that gives you the block chance if you go for the red, or even the blue Aranui one, which is a little bit rare, but the intelligence tattoos are offset by the fact that so many of them are actually really valuable. So we'll just go through real quick before we sign off here. Herald is the most valuable. Energy Shield is worth, they're like 3 to a divine or something like that. Chaos Resist is like half a divine each. Curses can be worth something. Minion Life is usually worth half a divine. Poison on hit is usually worth around 20-30 chaos. Reduced extra crits is worth something, but it varies throughout the league. And that's it. So a lot of the blue ones are worth a fair bit of money. Most of the red ones are not worth a thing. Yes, the Namahu ones for the fire resistance and the block chance, they're worth stuff. But the vast majority of the red tattoos, specifically all of the Tukohama tattoos and the Kitava tattoos, are worth nothing. Like literally multiple per chaos, nothing. So from that, my opinion is that your best bet is actually to go with green or blue. Blue will give you the jackpot chance of getting the Herald tattoo. Green gives you the spell suppression tattoo, which is of course its own jackpot. The movement speed tattoo, but it also will give you a few other interesting ones, such as the increased effective marks, which is worth something. And where is it? Oh, nope, I guess that's it. So you can get those 2 tattoos. Additionally, the green tattoos that you can get give you these. These 2 tattoos are actually very easy for you to re-roll into a Herald tattoo. So something to keep in mind. Lots of Ramako, all the Ramako pretty much are green. So all the ones that are used to give you the spell suppression or movement speed are green, meaning you can always re-roll these and potentially hit these. It's always nice. The Aranui tattoos, there are 3 of them that are not worth anything, and you can sometimes turn them into the Herald buff. That is nice. And if you go with the blue one, you actually can get the Hinakora tattoos. No, I'm sorry, not the Hinakora. Is it Namahu that gives the blue? Which one is it? It's Velako. That's it. You have these 4 Velako tattoos, which turn into sometimes the block tattoo. This is why I say blue is kind of the best. Green is the most consistent I have personally found, but blue is the best on paper. Just my RNG has not been good. Blue gives you the energy shield, the chaos resistance, the herald, and 2 chances at the jackpot. You can get the red jackpot by re-rolling these, and you can get the blue jackpot by rolling the Aranui, or just by being lucky and getting them in the first place. So that is my take on the King's March. Obviously, with the prices right now, the refinement scarab, which I did not look at before hitting record, I looked at them yesterday when I was buying. I would probably not use refinement if you are early league or if you are running late to the party, shall we say. But if you've got multiple divines and you don't really care and you're willing to spend, a div per 4, or in other words, 5 divine per 2 hours, it could be worthwhile to do it and to then send those shipments out for chances at mirror shards, for chances at fracturing orbs, and then of course just all the tattoos or rune graphs depending on what you're after. Now, unfortunately, I did not get any of my shipments to give me the fight. You actually do want your shipments to be hijacked. If your shipment is hijacked and you go fight Captain What's-His-Face, he has a chance to drop the Admiral's gloves. as you can see, at time of recording, these gloves, which we're going to go with non-corrupted because it matters, are 13 div for a base pair. They will always be 13, 14, or 15 div. And the reason is because people buy these in order to crangle them. And when they crangle them with the new Exalt, or what's it called? The new Vol Orb, whatever it's called, Unstable Corruptum. Sometimes they turn into stuff like this that people really want. Now, yesterday and earlier this week, there were multiple pairs that were not anywhere close to a mirror, but that's purely luck. You have to get really lucky on the RNG so that the 3 up rolls into a 3 point whatever. I think it's 3.5 and above you have to hit, which is not very likely. But you also can get these that have an increased chance, or increased chance to gain maximum rage. This can be very useful as well. So just something to keep in mind. Those boss fights for the shipments can be very profitable. Make sure those gloves are on your loot filter. Well, that's all I have for you guys today. Video is a little bit longer. I don't know. Please leave in the comments if you can, or message me directly on Discord what you think. Do you guys like these longer form videos? Do you like the 26 minutes where I go into full detail, explain everything's going on? Would you guys like timestamps? One of the comments that I received recently was that I should put chapters in, which I do not have editing software, and I do not modify my videos very much before uploading them. Just some basic time cards and stuff like that so that people can find the video based on tags, things of that nature. But if you think that those would be helpful for in the future for going through my videos, let me know. I will put chapters in. I'll figure out how to do that, and we'll get you guys better quality videos. If you learned something or found it useful, please share it with your friends. Let them know. Especially like the other day where I taught a whole bunch of people about the beast crafting for nightmare maps and putting implicits on maps. Nobody seems to have paid attention to the patch notes or just didn't see that. So a lot of people got a lot of use out of that. Otherwise, thank you all so much for coming, and I will see you next time.